They're a good lot. They look after you ever so well in there, don't they? First day I was in, this pretty little nurse came up. She said, "Are you comfortable, dear?" I said, "Well," I said, I own my own house and I've got a few bob in post office." She smiled. That's what they do, isn't it? They always smile. Anyway, she said, "Would you like me to fetch you a bedpan?" So I thought to myself, "Crikey, do you have to cook your own meals in here?" But my trouble is my memory. I'm 88, with many a tale to tell. But I tell you, I've reached the age of 88. Many a tale to tell. The snag is that I do not always tell them very well. I often get confused with who and why and when. But friends are very patient and they let me try again. But after a few seconds, so with a smile and thank you, I start my tale once more. But after a few seconds, I've forgotten it, just like before. Forgetfulness, it isn't a crime. It happens to me all the time. But enough of this frivolity. I want to tell you a story now. The lady of the manor returned home earlier than the staff expected. She rang for James, her faithful butler. When he came to her bedroom, she said, "James, take my dress off, please." So he gently removed it. "Now, James, take off my stockings and suspenders." And this he did. "And now," she asked, "take off my bra." He carefully slid it off. "Now, James, slip off my panties." And James, "If ever I catch you wearing my clothes again, you'll be sacked." I went out with a surgeon once. Oh, he turned out to be a right lout. To start with, I had trouble getting him to take me out. He said, taking bits of people out, he'd often done, but never had he taken out a person all in one. Anyway, he took me out to dinner, but he complained the meat was tough. He sent back several table knives. He said they weren't sharp enough. Well, I thought I'd better ask him back for coffee. He came, but he wasn't keen. You know, he looked all around my bedroom to see if it were clean. Now, I just sat and sipped my coffee out of the cup until he came out of the bathroom when he'd finished scrubbing up. I said to him, "Don't hesitate." And then, well, the little creep, he said, "I can't begin until you go to sleep." But I was aghast. No girl wants to see the man she loves in back-to-front pyjamas and a pair of rubber gloves. But anyway, with that, I turned my back on him. And I must have drifted off to sleep, because I woke up about 4 hours later, and I had a cough and a stretch, and then I saw him. And I said to him, Why are you still here? So he said, I'd just like to tell you that the operation last night was a huge success. Well, it got me anger up then. I said, get out of here. Go on, out of my sight. At least nobody else knows what a fool I was last night. He smiled at me then, and he said, but you are wrong, my friend. The 20 students watching all applauded at the end. Now, I've just a bit more time to make up, so I'll tell you about this farmer. He had to walk to a nearby town to collect supplies for his farm. Holding to his farming, as his car had broken down, he called it in at a hardware shop to pick up a bucket and an anvil. Then he stopped at the livestock market to buy a couple of chickens and a goose. With no means of transport, he was forced with the problem of how to carry all his shopping home. But the livestock dealer had a good idea. Why don't you put the anvil in the bucket, carry the bucket in one hand, put a chicken under each arm, and carry the goose in your other hand, he suggested. Well, thank you, said the farmer, and off he went. He hadn't gone far when a little old lady approached him and said that she was lost. I need to find a house called Hawthorne, she said. Do you know it? Indeed I do, said the farmer. As a matter of fact, it's on my way to my farm, so I can show you. How far is it? Asked the old lady. Only 5 minutes. If we take a cut down the alley. But, said the lady, how do I know that when we get down the alley, you won't pin me to the wall and have your wicked way with me? Good gracious woman, exclaimed the farmer. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm carrying a bucket, an anvil, 2 chickens and a goose. So how on earth could I possibly do that? The old lady replied, put the goose down, put the bucket over her, put the anvil on top of the bucket, and I load the chickens. Two elderly gentlemen were sitting down to breakfast, and one said to the other, do you know you have a suppository in your right ear? Speak up, I can't hear you, said the other. My hearing aid isn't working today. The first man tapped his ear and pointed to his companion, who delved into his ear, removing the suppository. I'm so glad you pointed that out. Now I know where I've put my hearing aid, he replied. Just a little quick one now. A woman was trying on shoes in a shop. She insisted she had to have a pair that were very comfortable. Because I have water on the knee, she explained. Then how about these, madam? The assistant asked as he opened the box. They are pumps. I'll just read this little poem that a friend of mine wrote. A potato lying in the road was run down by a heavy load. Laying in his hospital bed, his life was hanging by a thread. The doctor told Potato's wife, he'll be a cabbage all his life. There's another one that the same friend wrote for me. It's called Fly Tippers, with apologies to Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and ridges, when all at once I saw a load of fly-tipped rubbish, even fridges. Inside the hedgerows, beneath the trees, these eyesores that no longer please. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line, disfiguring the beauty of the day. So much rubbish at a glance, dumped in stealth, not by chance. The daffs around them danced, but the rubbish ruined the beauty we came to see. Country lovers can only pray the tippers are caught and made to pay. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what sadness to me these eyesores brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in quiet, sometimes angry mood, they flash across my inward eye and ruin the bliss of solitude. Then my heart with anger fills, spoiling the joy of the daffodils. Is that time up, love?